What is going on, y'all? Podcast arc episode number 3. I'm Jim. That is Spencer over there, and we're talking some anime stuff. And it's been a little while since we did an episode, but we're luckily in prime territory to be doing some episodes because we've got some primo content that's either just come out, just wrapping up, or just ahead. And so for today's episode, we're talking about The Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1. Spencer, what did you think of the movie?
So, as somebody that's kind of seen a couple different anime things in theaters now, this was one, by far the best experience.
Oh, definitively.
And two, the best anime thing that I've seen in theaters by far. Like, this, my Broly experience was very, very, very good, and I loved seeing that movie in theaters, and having Dragon Ball been one of my favorite franchises, that meant a lot to me, but this topped it.
Just you think that's just sheerly off of the movie? Because honestly, the experience that I had for Demon Slayer as an experience was very just like movie. Like I would say that I've had better experiences, even for things like Marvel movies. Like I almost think back to like some of the anime movies that I've seen way in the past. Like as a little kid, like I saw the Yu-Gi-Oh movie in theaters. Gosh, that must have been 20 years ago. And they had like all the promotional cards and stuff like that. Did we just see it at an average theater for anime movies? Because I've seen a lot of videos of like tons of cosplay and stuff like that. Do you think that you're like, oh, as a movie that was great, or do you think that you also like really enjoyed the theater experience overall?
I were seats where I really enjoyed. I thought the audio for the theater that we were in was also pretty good. I thought it was better. I thought it was because we saw Don to Don and this at the same theater. For whatever reason, I think this room had better audio than when we saw Don to Don.
I would agree. I genuinely think that the audio for this movie, I've mentioned that to a couple people that I've talked about the movie with. I think the audio for this movie was spectacular. There were several beats like in the movie where something happened and like it was almost like somebody had turned the volume up like right here. Like I think one of the moments that got me was Shinobu, and there's going to be spoilers for Demon Slayer the first movie, like just to get that clear.
There's no way to get around
there's
this.
no way to get around this with this movie. When Shinobu does her like attack of the centipede, like 100 stab centipede attack, that had like a big audio kick. Gyu's Dead Calm had
When
a
Gyu
huge
and
audio kick. Yeah, there were a couple moments in
When
Gyu's
that fight kicks off, they turn the audio up. I
There's
don't know what it was. I don't know if that was just built into the mastering or if that was just somebody controlling the speakers. But there was definitely a big
There's
boost
a
when those big fights
definitive
popped
jump
off.
right when the fight starts. Yeah, and it's not like a the moment is quiet and then it gets loud. No, there is a level of audio, and then that level like increases, not just in terms of like, yes, fighting is louder than dialogue. No, the overall volume gets louder and it pops the whole theater. There were several moments like that, and I'm not complaining. I'm not saying that was a bad mix. I almost think that like more stuff should do that. That like when there's a moment that there's gonna be pop, boost it a lot. Not just like the natural volume should boost, but like make the overall mix louder too. Really hit people with it. And the movie did that multiple times in a really cool way that I really enjoyed. So I mean, I would say this, Spencer, I agree with you that I think the movie content wise, obviously if I watched this in my home, I still would have loved it. But I'm with you. I think from an experience level, I also very much enjoyed it like in the theater. And I think that if you're an anime fan, this is one of the anime experiences you should have in theaters. It sucks if you're not caught up, but I don't think Demon Slayer is a hard thing to get caught up on. What is it, like 80 episodes? I get that sounds like a lot. Take a sick day, you can get halfway through, and you can probably see it later this weekend. Like, take a sick day.
In my 2 days off in a row,
watch a bunch, and then
Swordsmith. So and 2 weeks ago, within 2 days off, I binged all through Swordsmith and through Hashira training. I think the biggest chunk to get through is that first arc in season.
It genuinely is. I was looking at it. The first arc, the first season, like before he's a demon slayer, before he even gets to like the Spider Mountain, that is like 20 something episodes. And then you're in Mugen, then you're in entertainment, and then
Which
like
you can watch the movie for Mugen. You
yeah,
don't even need to watch
you
the
can
season.
watch
'Cause I
the
just watched the
for
movie. I
Mugen.
never even
Yep.
watched the season.
Then you're in entertainment district, and then what? It's entertainment. Then it's swordsmith,
Entertainment, swordsmith,
Hashira.
and then Hashira training.
You're there. You get through Mugen the movie, and you're 36 episodes away. Which again, I get 36 episodes, a lot of episodes, but divide that by 2 because they're only 20 minutes long, so you can watch two per hour. I mean, we're talking 18 hours. It's 2 days. That's 2 days. Especially if you're the kind of person that actually binges. I think you can get caught up and go see this movie. If you're an anime fan and you have not bitten into Demon Slayer, do your best. Try to go ahead and see this thing in its entirety and then go see it in theaters, because I genuinely think this is one of like just the anime experiences of all time. Did you see, Spencer? I think this is the highest grossing anime movie in the United States at this point. It's surpassed Pokemon.
Ever. It surpassed Pokemon. It surpassed everything else. It's the biggest opening weekend. I think it's made more money than any other anime movie in general.
Yeah. I think also R-rated animated movies. It's one of the biggest weekends for that, which that can't be a huge genre anyway. But like, yeah. I think there was a tweet that was like, Hollywood is going to learn all the wrong lessons from this. And that's so accurate. Like, America, dude, as I hate to be Mr. Weeb, like I acknowledge my weebness. Like I'm taking that on myself. It's an L. I get it. Western media sucks so bad at creating animated content. It's objectively embarrassing how bad we are at animated content. Look, I get like...
Besides Invincible, I can't tell you anything else that I've actually enjoyed.
Invincible is good because it's a good story. Like it's a good comic.
But now, in terms of animation, it will never compare to something like an actual anime.
But it so can. Like, it so can. If you look at like
if
early
they gave
90s,
them the production budget.
If you look at early 90s animation, like if you look at like animation from Disney, like Treasure Island, if you look at like what's the biblical story one? I'm blanking on it, but the one of like Abraham and Moses and like in Egypt.
Yeah.
Prince of Egypt, it might even be. If you look at like Road to El Dorado, if you look at like all of that like early 2D animation stuff, it's all brilliant. And then Pixar,
and it's
comes
a really
along.
big shame.
Yeah.
That like they went away from that 2D style.
Oh, it's so tragic. And it's because of Pixar, which isn't a bad thing. Like Pixar dominates. Pixar has some great stuff. Even like if you look at the Kung Fu Panda movies, like there's that demo at Best Buy with the Kung Fu Panda movies that's amazing. Like it's beautiful animation. Studios need to take that level of animation and then pair it with these great stories and get away from me with like this. Listen, I hate being that guy, but like all of this content is so like it's Western. I hate to use the word woke because I'm not against like woke stories, like female-led stories. I'm not against like queer stories or anything like that. But it's very like Western woke, where it's like
cookie cutter. It's
yes,
very cookie cutter.
Yes, it has to have a character like this, and it has to have a character like this. No. The
story
totally
has to be
fine.
Structured like this.
Yes, exactly. I'm totally fine with like female leads. I'm totally fine with like disabled characters or queer characters or POC characters. That's never been a problem for me. Some of my favorite, let me say this, almost all of my favorite anime characters are women. Almost all of them. Like I am very pro like strong female leads. My favorite character in JJK is Maki. I want to do a Maki cosplay, an awakened Maki cosplay. That's the baddest character in JJK.
Cannot wait for season 3.
But like there's this I watched this show called Blue Eye Samurai on Netflix. Dude, it's the most like cookie cutter Western woke that you can make. Female like mixed race lead with like multiple physically disabled like friends and associates. She's like never wrong, always stronger than everyone else. Like it's just this cookie cutter story, and that's where I think Western studios just fail.
Even when Western studios try to do animes, they still fail.
Yeah.
When I am a really big fan of Devil May Cry. It was one of my favorite games on PlayStation 2 growing up. So when they announced the Devil May Cry anime, because they had one back from the original 2000s, which was very gritty, very well made, I was really excited for it. And then it came out and it just became a cookie cutter story where they just changed the original story and made it into something that it wasn't.
Well, that's because they got that idiot, that guy that was on PKA, Ari,
Yeah.
yeah. They had him, and on PKA they were asking him like, "So what does a producer do?" And he's like, do you guys play video games?" Like he's like clearly just an investor that like puts money into projects and isn't passionate about them at all. Versus if you gave like me a budget and was like, "Hey Jim, like what should this look like?" Look, dude, like for me, the big one is Halo. Like Halo for me is the biggest piece of media that would translate to that. Like if you gave, I never get I can't pronounce it. Is it UFO table or UFO table? Because it's a UFO in the little like animation like logo they have. UFO table. If you gave them like the Halo story and were like go nuts, that would be the most visually stunning piece of media that was ever created by mankind. For me, like that's like a Western Studios wet dream. Like again, it's an Xbox property. Huge game in America, like that should be like an anime right there. Or it wouldn't be an anime because it'd be Western, but there's your story. After the Last Airbender is a great example, and they seemingly can't get out of their own way. Yeah, the next story is going to be about a little girl with no leg, and it's like in the like a steampunk future almost. It's like what are we?
Wait, are you being serious?
I'm 100% serious.
That's insane, dude. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, the next Avatar is
Korra was great. I did like Korra.
People's opinions are mixed on Korra. I haven't seen it because of the mixed opinions. But the new Avatar, this is confirmed. The new Avatar is a little girl who's missing a leg, and like the world is now like a steampunk society. Like unless I'm misreading the like concept art that I've seen. That's where it's going. That's the next Avatar story.
I'm a little okay with the steampunk stuff because since you haven't seen Korra, you haven't seen that transition within the world. But towards the end of Korra, there's a lot more like steampunk technology and shit like airships and that type of stuff. So that I'm okay with. But that, man,
it's like, again,
can we just get a normal protagonist?
Again, I have no problem with people like being represented and representation, but when it's like very clear, like we sat down in a writer's room and we're like, okay, we need a disabled leader to be our. It's like no, like you can't just like ham fist your way into these stories. And we've gone on too long about it, but I'll just say this. I'll kind of wrap on this. Is my whole notion with Demon Slayer specifically is like. Hollywood, I think, is going to get the wrong idea in terms of what they do next, and it will be because of the success of Demon Slayer. Meanwhile, things like Demon Slayer, the Chainsaw Man movie, some of the other anime movies that we're going to get in theaters like JJK Season 3 are going to continue to just boom, and like Sony, Crunchyroll, Aniplex, all of that is just going to continue to be a massive win, especially for Western audiences.
The success of this makes me, one, very happy for the sequel, which means production budget can get even higher, and for the just rest of the anime community, that this is going to shine a spotlight on it and maybe get more people to start watching, which does make me happy.
Oh, I think...
Like, I know people that don't watch anime at all that are going to see this.
Yeah, I think...
That know nothing even about the story.
Yeah, Demon Slayer is people are joking that Demon Slayer has replaced Bleach in the big three, and nothing will ever replace Bleach in the big three because it's kind of like a concrete thing. It's like Mount Rushmore. It's like there's Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece, and that's the big three. But genuinely, amongst like things that are popularized content, like that people actually consume, Naruto, One Piece, Demon Slayer are like the definitive mainstream animes that aren't Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball's in a weird space where
Dragon Ball's a given. Dragon Ball is just kind of like a given
it's
where it's so well known across.
It's so much older. Like Dragon Ball Z was releasing in the 80s. Like Dragon Ball Z was airing in the 1980s. It's a dramatically different.
Z was like late 90s, early 2000s.
You're bugging. That's actually what's crazy. Is Dragon Ball Z was airing in the 80s. Go Google that right now. Like, do you want to get your mind blown? What? Hang on. I'm gonna quiz you. What do you think the first episode of Dragon Ball Z aired? Don't pick up your phone.
Well, I'm gonna Google in a second, but my guess is 1995.
Do you want to know how many years off you are?
Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna see for myself.
The answer is 1986.
Holy.
Excuse me, 1989.
89.
89.
Holy shit.
But the Dragon Ball television series is the sequel to the 86 Dragon Ball. 1989. So you're closer than I was like framing it to like the entire 80s, but still like that anime.
Dude, this shit ended before I was.
Before you were born. Yeah. It's so much older
Its
than people.
conclusion was on January 31st,
Yeah.
1996. I
Yeah.
never knew. That's insane.
It ended before I was born. And I'm older than you. Like, when I say Dragon Ball exists in its entirely own thing, it's because Dragon Ball Z is in its entirely own thing. People only like Dragon Ball Z mainly because of, like, number one, reruns they saw as a kid where they didn't watch the entire narrative, but it was still cool. The games, like, most people's exposure to the entire story is from, like, the Budokai games. They didn't watch the story live. I didn't watch Dragon Ball as an entire narrative until I was a man, like, in my mid-20s.
Oh, same.
I
didn't watch all of Z until I was 19 or 20.
Yeah, because it was not available to me. It wasn't content that I could get unless I wanted to buy multiple DVDs, which, you know, who has enough money to buy an entire DVD box set of Dragon Ball Z when they're, you know, 17 years old. I literally had to consume that media through like a subscription service at some point in time, which is what I ended up doing. But One Piece, Naruto, etc., those were airing when I, like, in 2011, Marineford was happening. Like, that was like the content that you could consume. And now Demon Slayer, again, it's a little older. I think it started airing in like 2018, I want to say, 2019. It kind of fits into that same timeline with Naruto and One Piece, and it has transcended both of them into, again, making anime cool, accessible, and something that more people are going to be consuming regularly.
Yep. More mainstream, and I don't think that's entirely a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know that you said you had a hot take, and I wanted to hear it. We'll start with yours, because I have a hot take too, but it's more of a rant. And if I'm going to go off on a rant, I want it to be towards the end of the episode so people can tune out if they don't want to hear it. What was your hot take?
My hot take is that the last 5 years of anime is the greatest run in anime that exists.
In the words of that guy on TikTok talking about basketball, that's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that now. I don't think you're out of pocket for saying that. I will say this. There was a period in time where the Pain arc was happening at the same time that I think Marineford was happening. Like, you have to give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Those are, in
I'll
my
give credit where it's due
opinion,
on that.
those are two of the biggest moments in not just Big Three, not just mid 2000s, anime in general. That is like, that's enormous content. That is one of the best intros in all of anime in terms of Naruto's entrance into the Leaf Village. One of the best fights in all of anime in terms of Naruto versus Pain. I'm not a fan of the animation, but obviously it was, you know, it was transcendent for its time. Then you've got Luffy, again, against the entire world. Whitebeard, Blackbeard, all the admirals, Ace. I mean, it's an amazing thing that's kind of going on there. And I mean, I won't lie to you, like, this is also a huge moment in the anime space. Like, there's no denying that, right? But I think it's hard. Now, granted, I mean, you do have Infinity Castle happening right now. Chainsaw Man, in my mind, as a manga reader, like, anime fans are going to enjoy Chainsaw Man for probably the next 8 years, because that's seemingly how long it's going to take to adapt the entire public safety saga. But then they should just end it. Because even as someone who has enjoyed the post-public safety saga, it's not, like, it's too much to do it in an anime. Like, what are we doing now? Like, it's it's dead. So for me, it's like Chainsaw Man's like less exciting now, but it's still going to be good because of what it's going to be as a visual spectacle. But story-wise, for me, it's a little dead. But overall, like I don't disagree with you that I would say this is a golden era of anime. It's overwhelmingly good. There's nothing negative to say. I just don't know if it's better than like the early 2010s. That's a good question. I mean, My Hero Season 8. There's a lot going on.
JJK Season 3 is coming out.
JJK is transformative, and I'm almost like, how do you start animating?
That's probably my most hyped thing.
Yeah,
at this current moment,
it's incredible. It's so good. Are you like manga caught up on that?
I know story beats. I don't know it like too hard or anything. I do plan on reading it, and I also do plan on not catching up, or reading the rest of Infinity Castle and Sunrise Countdown arc, because I'm not waiting 2 years to see this. I am that impatient at this point.
Dude, it might be longer than 2 years.
So
they're saying it's going to be 2027 and then 2030.
I had saw a post that was like 2027 and then 2029, but
which I mean,
hopefully we get these things faster.
I hope we do.
Because I mean, there was only a year in between Hashira and this.
Yeah, I agree. I would hope that it's faster. Fun fact about me, JJK is actually what got me into reading manga. Because when season 2 ended, I was like, no, I can't not know how this happens. So I read the entirety of JJK. And now I'm reading JJK 3. So I'm like very aware of Jujutsu Kaisen, manga wise. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of go on my quick thing here. And I wanted your take because you aren't manga caught up on Demon Slayer, but I think you'll be able to at least offer some like thoughts on this, because the internet is bananas about power scaling. I'm sure you know that. Like, you're no stranger to internet fights about power scaling. So I wanted to ask your opinion after I give my take here. People are being mad disrespectful to my GOAT, Rengoku. And they're also, he's not quite my GOAT, but they're also being mad disrespectful to Tengen. Because I keep seeing rankings of the Hashira that have Tengen, in some cases, as the weakest Hashira. And Rengoku,
he's definitely strong,
as bottom 3. Now, I'm open to hearing arguments. I get it. You know what? No, I'm taking the low road. I'm not open to hearing arguments about Rengoku. I'm not open to hearing arguments about Rengoku. Tengen, I'll hear arguments on, but Rengoku, I won't. And here's why. Let me just go off on this real quick.
I would like to hear, I want to hear your tangent first, because in my opinion, I think Rengoku probably has to rank at the bottom because, one, he died against Akaza, and we just saw
let me tee
people
off
win
here.
against Akaza.
Let me tee off here because I think that you're falling for the illusion here. Okay, so let me go here. In Demon Slayer, the top 5 is, and forgive me because some of these names I've only ever read them. I've never heard them. So if I'm getting a name wrong pronunciation wise, forgive me. You've got Yoriichi, who is the founder of Sun Breathing and the Demon Slayer Corps. Muzan, Kokoshibo, who is Upper Moon 1, Doma, and Akaza. That's your top 5 of the verse. That's the top 5 of the verse. There's one guy who's not a demon, and then 4 demons. So when I rank the Hashira, I'm taking fights against those 4 demons to be the biggest feats in the verse. So if you have a fight against one of those 4 demons, I immediately raise your value significantly. With that said, none of the Demon Slayers, including Gyome, could 1v1 any of the top 4 demons. That's Muzan, Kokoshibo, Doma, or Akaza. None of the Demon Slayers, none of the Hashira are taking ones against that top 4. So if Rengoku loses against Akaza, you can't hold it against him. Because none of the Demon Slayers would win that fight. None of them. Not a single one. Not even the strongest one. But what I can say about Rengoku is that he stalemated Akaza after having fought All Night, having fought the number 1 of the lower 6.
Oh, yeah, I do forget that. Okay.
He fought All Night.
I forget that they literally keep him until almost sunrise. I do forget that.
He fought All Night. He also helped fight the last one of the lower 6. So the one just before Gyutaro, right? And then he goes on to fight upper 3 and stalemates him. If he had just managed to drag Akaza into the daylight for 4 seconds, he has on his resume 1v1 defeating an upper 3 demon, even if he dies, right? Because other Demon Slayers, when they get worked over by an upper rank, we're like, oh, this is a feat that we can give them. This is a feat. Is they survive against so-and-so. No. Akaza beats the brakes off of Giyu and Tanjiro. So suddenly, Giyu wasn't going to beat Akaza 1v1. He was going to die too, without Tanjiro's help.
Now, I got to ask you this. Do we qualify suicide, or do we qualify that as them beating him?
In what context?
Akaza. With his demise.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. They didn't beat Akaza. Akaza gave up. They didn't beat him. So these rankings, they're like, well, Giyu's clearly above Rengoku. No, he's clearly not. Because if Rengoku had survived, if Rengoku wasn't forced to fight Akaza in like chapter 15, he would have had a chance to get his mark and fight Muzan and do all the other things the other Demon Slayers get to do. Just because he's forced to fight Akaza with no backup, 60 chapters too soon, doesn't mean he's weaker than Giyu. Doesn't mean he's weaker than Obanai. The things that I see, this is the ranking that I see. The ranking that I see overwhelmingly is Gyome 1, Saname 2, Obanai 3. What feats does Obanai fucking have that we're putting him above Giyu or Rengoku? People will go, oh, well, in the end, he fights Muzan. Everyone fucking fights Muzan. Everyone gets a lick on Muzan.
Everyone fights Muzan.
That
can't be a point.
That can't be a point. No.
Yeah, that can't be a point.
Oh, he survives 1v1 with Muzan for like however long. That's not sufficient. Everyone else is there. Muzan's not genuinely giving him
I watched the spoiler
once.
video at this point. I'll just say this. I did watch a full entire breakdown on the rest of Infinity Castle and Sunrise Countdown. I know what happens. Yeah, that can't be a point.
That can't be a feat. So Obanai's only feat is helping beat upper 4 with Mitsuri's help in the Infinity Castle. That's his only feat. Excuse me, that's not a big enough feat for me to put him against Rengoku, who literally stalemates Akaza, and if he'd survived, definitively would have been an asset in the Infinity Castle. He stalemates an upper 3 demon. The only Demon Slayer to beat a demon of the upper 6 solo is, I'm blanking on his name. Tokito. Tokito's the only one to beat a demon in single combat that's in the upper 6. So this whole notion that Rengoku loses to Akaza, so he's not top 5, that's crazy. He stalemates one of the top 4 in the verse. So for me, it's Gyome's number 1, Saname's 2. Personally, I think Tokito's got to be 3. He's the only Hashira to 1v1 a demon and win. Not that the other 2 couldn't have. Both Gyome and Saname could have beaten upper 5 in 1v1. But I also think Rengoku would have beaten upper 5 in 1v1, which is why for me, Rengoku's got to be 4. Rengoku's got to be 4. Giyu's got to be 5. I don't like giving Obanai 6.
Do we put Tanjiro 6?
I'm talking just the Hashira.
So do we count Tanjiro?
Hashira, he's technically not a Hashira.
Tanjiro as a Hashira?
He's technically not a Hashira, so I don't rank him. Because if you do, he's stronger even than I think some of the guys I just listed. Like, is Tanjiro stronger than Giyu? I would say yes. He's got the mark.
I would say yeah.
He's got the mark. He's got the transparent world. I think he's stronger than Giyu.
Yeah, transparent world.
But like, okay. Again, what do we? Obanai. What's his feat? What's Obanai's big feat that we're putting him above Giyu or Rengoku? I don't see it. So for me, it's Rengoku then Giyu. That I'm like, okay, now we can maybe have a conversation about Obanai. But listen, Tengen, I don't think any Hashira other than Tengen would have survived Tengen's fight in the Entertainment District. Because Tengen is the only one with a natural...
Tengen did 1v1 in Gyutaro, right?
Yeah, yes. Well, I mean, technically, Tanjiro takes his head using the Hinokami Kagura.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
But that's only possible because Tengen is fighting him with one arm and fully poisoned. None of the other Hashira would have survived the poisoning. None of them. None of them have poison immunity. So
because none of them were shinobis, and that was the only reason why he survived.
He's the only person that could have survived that fight. He's in the perfect fight for himself to survive, and he's in the perfect fight for himself to be maimed, which deranks him. But Tengen absolutely could have beaten Upper 5 the way Tokito did. Absolutely could have. I think that if you get him into the Infinity Castle, he definitely unlocks his mark because he's an amazing fighter. And I think that he has just as good a chance of surviving as anybody else. So personally, I've got him against Obanai as well. Because again, Obanai, what are his feats? I get it. He beats an Upper 4. But it's not even the original 4. It's not. The demon that he beats is one of the fill-ins that Muzan just adds to the 12 Kizuki because he's running low on demons because, oh, that's right, Tanjiro packed up 5 and Tokito packed up 4. That's why. Because the other demon slayers are them. Obanai has no kills. He has nothing. At least Saname helps fight Kokoshibo with Gyome and Tokito. Obanai otherwise has no feats.
This is a little off track for a second. One of my biggest gripes with Demon Slayer was that Tengen got injured and put to the side. That was like one of the only things in the series where I'm like, damn, I wish that didn't happen.
Tengen's my dog, and that's why I'm willing to fight for him. So I would put him at 6, and then Obanai at 7, then Mitsuri, and then Shinobu, which it feels bad because I'm like, oh, the 2 girls are the weakest. I think Mitsuri's got more feats than Obanai. She at least fights, I think it's Upper 5 all night. All night she fights 5. While Tanjiro's looking for the real body. She fights 5 all night. Now again,
yeah, she survives that entire time until the end.
Obanai fights Muzan 1v1 for 15 minutes. I don't care. That's not a feat. Everyone is fighting Muzan at that point. Like, I get it. That kind of counts because if I'm giving credit to Rengoku for losing to Akaza, should I not give credit to Obanai for not dying to Muzan? I probably should, but otherwise he has no major fights. He has no wins solo, or even without the help of another Hashira. At least Tengen's win isn't with the help of a Hashira, it's with Tanjiro. Right? Obanai's only win against an Upper 6 is against the one that has the I forget what the instrument's called, but the one that makes the Infinity Castle move. That's his only win in the Infinity Castle, and it's with Mitsuri helping him. Another Hashira. So don't shoot the messenger here. Gyome, Saname, Tokito, Rengoku. Rengoku's 4. I'm not hearing it.
They don't even kill that demon. I don't want to get too spoilery about the manga.
Refresh me, because you've seen it sooner than I have.
Yeah, because I just watched this last night. The demon that plucks the strings to move the Infinity Castle, she never dies from one of the Hashiras. Muzan like clenches his fist and caves in her skull to kill her because they put her under control.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So again, he doesn't even have that feat to his name in reality. I get it. He's got a good moment against Muzan. That's not enough for me to rank you against multiple people that took on upper 6 rank demons and beat them, or stalemated an upper 3 rank demon in the case of Akaza. Listen, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Rengoku's 4, Giyu's 5, Tengen is 6, Obanai is 7, Mitsuri, and then Shinobu. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm tired of pretending. I'm tired of it. That's your Hashira ranking as far as I'm concerned.
R.I.P. Shinobu.
R.I.P. Shinobu, bro. So you obviously so when I was talking to you about it after the movie, you now obviously know what actually happens moving forward, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, this is why I hate the people that are like, oh, Demon Slayer has no story. Demon Slayer bangs as a story. You just don't have like a valuable attention span. Like you're thinking Attack on Titan is the only way to tell a story. Some of the best stories of all time are just nursery rhymes, bro. Sometimes Jack and Jill go up a hill to fetch a pail of water, and Jack falls down and breaks his crown, and Jill comes tumbling after. Sometimes that's the story, and that's not a bad story to tell. Sometimes it's point A, point B.
Usually I have a big gripe with doing constant backstories and flashbacks and that type of stuff. But Demon Slayer is one of the few like animes, mangas, and shows that I will genuinely sit through it and enjoy it. With Naruto and Shippuden, I'd skip episodes. I would skip halves of episodes because it would just draw out way too long, and it was just boring at times.
As one of One Piece's biggest fans, there are flashbacks that I've skipped through even while reading. Like Skypiea is notorious for having I couldn't imagine reading Skypiea live like when it was airing, like when it was coming out in the manga, because there is a I want to say a 15 chapter long flashback that none of the characters are in, none of and not like a flashback like God Valley is right now, where it's like, oh, Shanks is there and Whitebeard and Blackbeard's there, and we see the origin of the Raleigh of not the Raleigh Pirates, but the Roger Pirates. It's not even like that. It's like, this is like people you don't know, who you've never heard of, who you're just now learning about in the past. It's terrible. Now, again, it's important to the narrative and it's beautiful because it kind of builds the world that he's making. But yeah, that's not the case in Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, even its flashbacks are awesome.
I could not have imagined being a Naruto fan when that was coming out.
Oh, I
would have gone crazy, dude.
Naruto, I've said before, I was ranting about it in our last episode. Naruto is so abundantly mid that it's disgusting. And the fact that Naruto has as many fans as it does over something like My Hero, for it. I get it. I'm My Hero's biggest defender. Nobody wants to like My Hero because of the fandom. I get it. My Hero is what Naruto wishes it was. Naruto can't.
My Hero has genuinely some of the best character development in any show.
In anything, dude. Like, Endeavor genuinely might be a better character than any character in Naruto. I'm not even gonna hold you. Endeavor might be Endeavor's like the 4th best character in My Hero. He might be the best character in Naruto. Give me a character arc in Naruto better than Endeavor's. Name one. Go ahead. A character with a complete arc.
I mean,
that makes sense. They either die early, in the case of like Jiraiya, or their arc is just static. It stays in one place. Naruto, his arc is one-dimensional. Sasuke, his arc is completely one-dimensional. Itachi, his arc is one-dimensional. Even when you figure it out, that's the end of it. There's no follow-up. It's like, oh, this is the truth. That's it. End. Sakura, there's nothing there.
Yeah, there's nothing there, unfortunately. As much as I do like her as a
Pain,
character,
like Pain,
to the main protagonist.
Pain's got a great story, but like again, it's early. It's done in what 100 chapters. Endeavor is a main character the entire thing until the very end. There's not that's. I think I'm gonna end the pod on that hot take. There is not a single character in Naruto that has a better story than Endeavor from My Hero Academia.
You need to make that into a poll onto like X and see if we can gain a little bit of traction with it and see what the like public opinion is.
I would love to make like a podcast arc Twitter and stuff. I should like give you the password too, because I think that'd be a good idea. What we have to do, I think, and at this point, like, this podcast is so funny because we literally just like press record and talk, and we got on like a 10-minute tangent about like Western like media and how it's woke and stupid, and like we talked about like Naruto like 4 different times. We've got to get better at like isolating our narratives and like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I think it goes back to this thing that I've heard before is like your first podcast isn't going to be good. Like your first podcast is going to suck. I think that we just have to like commit to doing this either on Sunday or on Monday. And then once we're committed to doing it all the time. And it's just going to get better. We also, I think, have to dial in our audio because I feel like there are just times where there's background noise and I just can't stand anything like no audio for me with a podcast is like I hear one audio blur, but I'm like, throw it away. I'm not listening to this crap. And I feel like we have it constantly. So we'll dial all these things in as we keep going. But for me, this is more about just the outlet of like talking about anime. We have to talk about Dandadan when Dandadan ends this week. Because that is going to be amazing. And dude, I wish you were caught up on the Dandadan manga. Because something huge just happened in the manga. And the implications might make me kill myself. Like full pause. Something happened in the manga that like, if some of the theories I'm seeing are right, I don't know how I'm ever going to recover.
Oh no.
Like,
is this like major?
Like,
oh, so I finally decided that I'm gonna get a Shonen Jump subscription and start reading a bunch of stuff.
You need to.
So
you
I'll
need
have
to.
a bunch of opinions on actual manga soon too.
You need to just blitzkrieg Demon Slayer. That's the first thing. Get through Demon Slayer because I know you. I know. Well, not even because now you know you've spoiled yourself by watching like the synopsis. So honestly,
explanation videos. Yeah.
Honestly, like it's worth reading. Did you get to the end of the manga?
The
epilogue?
The video that I was watching, I got about, not to spoil this for anybody that hasn't read anything out of the manga towards the end, but I got to the point where Muzan takes over Tanjiro.
Okay, but you have, okay, that's fine. So yeah, I would read the rest of
And I
Demon
know
Slayer.
about who marries who. That was accidentally spoiled to me.
But that's funny, because that's not even real.
Wait, what?
That's only kind of real. Do you want me real quick to like semi-spoil the end, like the epilogue?
Yeah, sure, you can. I don't care.
Okay, spoiler for the epilogue of Demon Slayer, because Spencer's confused, even though he's somehow spoiled it for himself. The epilogue of Demon Slayer is in the present. Like, present time. Like, today. And it is characters that look a lot like the characters from the actual story living happy, normal lives. Like...
What?
Yes. And the implication is that all of the characters... Okay. Yes, all of the characters that were like victims or died or were killed in some way, they get to be reincarnated and then have happy lives in the future that is demon free. Now, it's not like it was all a dream or it was just a story, because there's evidence that
these are just kind of the eventual descendants.
Yes. And
I really like that.
That's a nice yes. One. It's very obvious who marries who. Like you see, you're like, oh, I see what happened here. But it's not like you're not gonna see like adult Nezuko. Like you're not gonna see adult Zenitsu.
Okay.
You're going to see descendants of those characters, and you're going to go, that's clearly that person's your mom and that person's your dad, and this is 100 years or 200 years later, whatever it is. And certain characters get to be friends that weren't friends before, or were different ages, or what have you. The only characters you don't see are the demons, because they're doing their penance for their crimes. Before they're reincarnated. All the characters you see are actually all of like the good characters, the Hashira, all that stuff. Yeah, very, very cool ending. And I think that's why I say Demon Slayer. This is why I'm a Demon Slayer defender till the day I die. That's a good ending. You cannot convince me that it's not a good story.
And I do like the whole penance thing, because knowing that Muzan said, like, oh, I've done these terrible things for thousands and thousands of years, like, nothing will ever result of it. I do like that ending.
Yeah, because again, it's very Buddhist in its ideology. Like, there is a hell in Buddhism, but it's not permanent. Like, you have a chance to redeem, and that's Akazu's whole entire thing. You even see it in the anime. He dies. He's going to hell. She chooses to come with him. But the implication of that is this isn't permanent. We're going to be together forever and have a chance at this again in the next life. Like, there's like the suffering is not permanent. And that's what I love about this, because in some anime and manga, it's like this character has a horrible, horrible demise. That's it. There's nothing else. Like, you're just dead now. And that's not the case with Demon Slayer. In Demon Slayer, it's like, okay, there's death, but there's also rebirth, and there's a second chance, and there's a second life that can be had. You know, just it's a really great narrative in that way. So anyway, again, we've now rambled, we've spoiled anime and manga. But yeah, Spencer, in 100% seriousness, you should read the end of Demon Slayer, because it's worth reading. The art is really fun. I think the art almost looks like
I'm going to.
It almost reminds me of like Japanese like wood painting sometimes. You know what I'm talking about, where they have like the oni and like things like that. The mangaka, it almost looks like that in some ways, where it's like very like almost like traditional Japanese art in that way. I love how it looks. It's definitely worth reading in my opinion.
The manga is it actually colored?
No.
Okay, the video that I saw.
Yes, you've only ever seen it colored. I know, it's very weird. That it is black and white when you read it.
So where is it in color?
God knows. It's not a Shonen Jump. I don't know where it is in color. Okay, I'd love to have it in full. It was
probably like the color. Actual maybe like physical volumes of them.
Maybe,
possibly.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, do that, and then for sure, dude, please catch up on Dandadan. It's like several hundred chapters at this point. But again,
the other night I'm clicked into Shonen Jump and clicked into the most recent Dandadan one, and I saw the like first couple panels, and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do this to myself. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right.
I'm so unwell. If Dandadan has just gone the direction that some people think it has, I am so unwell that it's not fun. But it's possible that people are just reading too into it, and that's what I'm hoping for. But if he's doing what I think he's doing, this is the GOAT romance writer, like, of all time. Like, this guy puts Shakespeare to fucking shame if he's doing what I think he's doing. But I'm also gonna be devastated. Fucking devastated. And we'll talk about that more next Sunday. With the
your reaction to this can only make me think.
Gonna be a huge Dandadan
death.
You lagged crazy, but it's fine. Huge Dandadan week next week. It's gonna be fucking mint. But it'll be the end of the episode here, guys, because frankly, I want to talk about Dandadan, and I don't think we can do so until the season ends and then the next chapter comes out. So that's the podcast art, guys. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace.
See you later.